Celtic team confirmed. Many changes here, 6 in all. No Boruc, Telfer, Lennon, Nakamura, Maloney or Dublin. In come David Marshall, Ross Wallace, Stilian Petrov, Stephen Pearson, Aidan McGeady and Alan Thompson. And for Kilmarnock, just one enforced change. Their captain Gary Hay was injured against Rangers at the weekend, so he is left out, and the former Rangers player Peter Leven replaces him and will probably play in his position at left back. 2 goalkeepers on the bench there.
A significant contribution to the success of this competition.
Well, Roy Keane has won 7 premierships with Manchester United, now about to win his first in Scotland, completing his 10th match tonight, which qualifies him for a League Championship winners' medal. Clearly very relaxed and happy to be in that situation. Young Player of the Year, Stephen Naismith of Kilmarnock's made a marvellous impact since the departure of Chris Boyd. He's become the leading goal scorer with 12 in all so far from midfield. A very promising young player, just 19 years old. So on the whistle this evening is Steve Conroy in the middle. His linesmen are Keith Sorby and Lawrence Kerrigan. So a presentation on the field being carried out right now down below us, and that presentation is being made by former Celtic manager Dr. Joseph Venglos, handing that UEFA award to Celtic. Billy McNeill down there with Sean Fallon, and that's in honour of Jock Stein's contribution to European football. So Sean Fallon, his loyal lieutenant for so many years, Billy McNeill is captain throughout the glory years, and these two collect that marvellous memento from UEFA, from Joseph Venglos. Well, yet another award for Celtic, and that one richly deserved for their contribution to European football over so many years. So Billy McNeill and Sean Fallon leave the arena with Joseph Venglos to watch the match. Celtic's last home match of the season. Disappointment, of course, on Sunday at Tynecastle when they lost by 3-0 in a match which, of course, meant much more to Hearts than it could do to Celtic with the League Championship well won. Well, David Marshall, who goes to the Kirin Cup in Japan with Scotland, unless he's withdrawn by his club. 21-year-old goalkeeper gets his chance to replace Arthur Boruc, who's rested this evening. And Alan Como, a very highly regarded goalkeeper for Kilmarnock. Followed Jim Jeffries around. He was at Dundee United for a spell, St Mirren, and Bradford City, where he was with Jim Jeffries, and back to Kilmarnock, where he's been a very important player for them. So the Celtic huddle gets underway as the mascot is led off. Young Kieran Molloy will not forget this occasion readily. The huddle, which was reputedly started by Tony Mowbray, the club Hibs manager, way back in 1991 when he played centre-back for Celtic. Well, the stadium not by any means packed to capacity this evening, as the feel of a friendly for Celtic supporters, but for Kilmarnock, perhaps much more significant. They still have a chance of finishing 4th in the league if they can have 2 victories to finish with, and results go their way elsewhere. So referee Steve Conroy is satisfied. Kilmarnock start the match. First touch there for Alan Johnston in the heart of midfield. And Lindsay Wilson, the Australian, playing it forward to his fellow Australian, Danny Invincible. Well, Kilmarnock have had 3 defeats so far from Celtic this season. 1-0 and 4-1 at Rugby Park. 4-2 here at Celtic Park earlier in the season. And an opportunity here for this freshened up Celtic side to make an impact, and for some of the players to force their way in to go into Strachan's longer term thoughts. And that applies particularly to men like Ross Wallace and Aidan McGeady, Stephen Pearson. The long ball forward met there by Gordon Greer at centre back for Kilmarnock. Strangely muted atmosphere inside Celtic Park, reflecting the lack of importance of the match in terms of the result to Celtic, but performance very important for many of these players, including this one, Stephen McManus, who's had a wonderful first season. Centre back for Celtic. Head flick on from Petrov, reaches McGeady, starting the match on the right hand side. Into the gap it goes for Zurawski, breaking the ball, almost kind there to Petrov. Cleared up easily though by Lindsay Wilson for Kilmarnock. Mark Wilson playing in his preferred position at right back this evening in the absence of Paul Telfer. Most people believe that Wilson's long-term career at Celtic will be in that position. Paul Telfer in his 35th year, of course. That's McGeady. Sharp passing down there. It's back with Wilson again. Put under pressure by Nish. Here's Varga turning into trouble. Sending the ball out for a Kilmarnock throw. Stan Varga making his 9th appearance of the season. If he plays at the weekend, he'll qualify also for a championship medal. So Wales tackled there by Wilson. Throw launched long by Leven. Going to play again. Kilmarnock's throw. Peter Leven taking this. Aidan McGeady playing in the same area. It'll be a major handful for the Kilmarnock defender. So Leven will take this throw. He has had so many injury problems, Peter Leven, in his career, both at Rangers and Kilmarnock. And there was a gap there, which is almost exploited by Gary Wales. The marking not tight enough there. Well, there's a very simple throw towards that near post area. No Celtic player attacking the ball. Awkward though for Wales. Couldn't have done much more with that. Fraser Wright with Petrov. Petrov playing up front beside Zurawski. Kept in there by Marshall. Still to have a clean sheet in the Celtic goal this season. Lost 5 in Bratislava against Artmedia, and then lost 4 at Firpot against Motherwell. It's particularly annoyed, I think, to concede a late goal against Kilmarnock beginning of April. And Celtic won by 4 goals to 1, but a late goal giving a blemish on the Marshall record again. They're a very fine young goalkeeper. Heavy challenge there in the middle of the field by McManus. This is Petrov. The option on the flank is Zurawski. This is Thompson. Very few starts in recent times, Alan Thompson. Careless pass by Wilson. Elliot McGeady showing his versatility on each flank. Major threat and perhaps even as effective through the middle. Here's Leven again with the throw. Difficult career he's had so far, and having to replace the captain Gary Hay this evening, who has been such a stalwart in the Kilmarnock ranks. Gordon Strachan still indicating some tinkering with the system, and the system has a midfield of McGeady, Keane, Pearson and Thompson. Interesting to see Pearson playing one in, Thompson playing wide. Up front, Petrov and Zurawski. Wales didn't get any touch on that, and had to be a hurried clearance there by McManus as Marshall came out. There was a threat there from Kilmarnock. Colin Nish was the player who closed in. This was slack. Careless play in defence by Celtic. The orthodox throw by Leven. Missed, in fact, by Wales. Allowed to go initially by McManus. He had to hurry when Nish appeared on the scene. And Marshall's taking a knock here from his own player, I think, mainly. Bang in the head there for David Marshall. And Colin Nish has also taken a sore one in that incident. Well, careful check on David Marshall. Very unfortunate for him if he had to leave the field early. Spent so long on the bench this season, watching Artur Boruc play so well. Going to be all right. It's going to be a corner kick to Kilmarnock. Alan Johnston, the Far post it goes. It's well won there though by Pearson for Celtic. This is Thompson. Very good back heeler. Here's Zurawski. Through the middle is McGeady. Pearson surging through also. On the far side there was Petrov. And it was eventually blocked effectively by Lindsay Wilson. The ricochet came off Roy Keane for the goal kick. But Kilmarnock certainly exposed there with that very fast counter-attack. The back heeler from Alan Thompson was the factor which set it all up. And then Zurawski carried the ball forward. He had options inside, tried to pick out Petrov. But the interception was made well there by Wilson. That's Nish. Invincible, much further inside than Nish realised. Here's Ross Wallace. Breaking the ball, almost being kind to Celtic, but Zurawski can't get there in time. Well, the Australian Lindsay Wilson has made a very good impression. Spell at PSV Eindhoven, where he sustained a serious injury, but now settling well into this Kilmarnock defence. Greer at full stretch, did well. Now Wilson. Greer's clearance gives the throw to Kilmarnock again because it was deflected. Kilmarnock starting the match with a back four of Wilson, Greer, Wright and Leven. Across the middle, Invincible, Fowler, Johnston and Naismith. In front two, Colin Nish and Gary Wales. Last two starts for Alan Thompson resulted in defeats for Celtic against Clyde in the Cup and Dunfermline here in the league. Major shock. But on both occasions, Roy Keane tidily back to Varga. Strong challenge there and a fair one made by Fraser Wright. Was offside against Nish. Played through by Alan Johnston, but the Celtic back line stayed high and had a good understanding. That's good play in defence by Celtic. Nish was well offside. Well, so many season ticket holders clearly deciding not to make the trip to Celtic Park this evening. Petrov shot blocked by Wright. It's quite clear that it's really competitive football that supporters want to see for the most part, unless there are some superstars on the field, as there will be in the testimonial match next week involving Roy Keane at Manchester United. Here's Petrov with a great chance for the opening goal. Excellent goalkeeping by Combe. The back heel is effective. Here's Thompson. Closed down well in the end by the Kilmarnock defence, but that was down to top-class goalkeeping from Alan Combe. Petrov had a wonderful opportunity there to open the scoring. Celtic still in possession. This is McGeady. Careless one. It's won by Naismith for Wales, giving the young Wakefield player no chance at all there. Well, it was very good build-up play this. The pass from Alan Thompson was excellent. Chest control from Petrov also excellent. But what a fine save it was from that very good volley. And then along Thompson. Had to be closed down rapidly there by Lindsay Wilson. Zurawski then crowded out there by a combination of Wilson and Greer. Alan Combe has performed heroics like that many times for Kilmarnock this season. I think Zurawski's got a great opportunity tonight to become the leading Celtic goal scorer for the season. He's on the same mark as John Hartson, who's not featuring at all this evening, not even on the bench. Both on 19 goals for the season. 14 of these have come in the year 2006 for Zurawski. Long ball forward by Fraser Wright, causing no problem there for the Celtic defence, and it looks as though David Marshall's made a full recovery from that head knock he sustained, clashing with McManus and Nish. Jim Jeffries was a candidate for Manager of the Year for what he's achieved with Kilmarnock this season. Fraser Wright's header. That's Varga returning the ball. A bit untidy in the middle of the field at the moment. Thompson's pass to Wallace, a little bit strong. It's a long time since Stephen Pearce started a match for Celtic, way back in fact in league match. It was in November 2004. On the bench a great deal. Kilmarnock's free kick. Gordon Greer also missed a large chunk of the season through injury for Kilmarnock. Gets his chance now with Simon Ford, an injury victim. Wallace forced to hurry by Wales, and the interception was made by Invincible. Can't recall hearing such silence at Celtic Park early in the match for a long time. Zurawski fouled from behind by Wilson. There was the infringement by Lindsay Wilson, picked up immediately by Steve Conroy, the referee. Back now with Wallace. Excellent left foot he has. And the tackle, played the ball against Petrov. Greer, it's a Kilmarnock throw. I think, no, it's not. It's going to be a Celtic throw. In fact, that's the reason why it's not a Kilmarnock throw. It's a free kick, which Alan Thompson will take. Thompson playing it in high, looking for Zurawski. It's won by Wright. There's McGeady. That's lovely footballing in from McGeady. Putting that through for Zurawski. The covering by Fraser Wright was excellent. Well, Zurawski grimacing there. He really had an opportunity just for a split second. Well, great credit due here to number 18, Fraser Wright, in defence for Kilmarnock. Look how quickly he closes in on Zurawski. Thompson's corner kick. Headed back to him by Petrov. I'm not sure he intended that, but it's been very effective. Headed away by Nish. Here's Johnston. Fowler. Naismith held up well by Pearson. Wilson taking a safe course back to David Marshall. Well, Celtic had gone 19 league matches undefeated until that match at Tynecastle on Sunday. With 15 wins and 4 draws till that point. No question of a lack of effort in that match, but perhaps just missing an edge, which winning the trophy so early can do. There's Keane to Pearson, and now Thompson. Asking a lot of Wallace. Invincible did well to close him down. Thompson again. Pearson under pressure. Now it's Keane to restore some order in midfield. Petrov chesting that down to McGeady. That's good play. Still McGeady. Petrov couldn't gather that on the run. Now Wales. Petrov playing up front. A partner to Maciek Zurawski, and that is interesting because there's adjustments that have to be made by a midfield player going up front like that, and he is playing an orthodox striker role. He's not coming from a deep position. A man who has asked for a transfer from Celtic, wants to leave the club in the summer to go to England, and giving any watching scouts the opportunity to see another strand to his ability. This is Mark Wilson, quick enough to get there ahead of Wales. Leavens header. Argyle leaves it to Keane. Thompson. Now Wallace. McManus picking out Petrov. This time he has gone deep. McGeady to Petrov. That's a wonderful pass. Zurawski couldn't collect first time, otherwise he was straight in on goal. Covering play came from James Fowler, the sitting player in midfield for Kilmarnock. Thompson showing good close control. Pearson now. Petrov's return pass. Misunderstanding there was Zurawski. He was expecting a diagonal run in behind Greer, which didn't come. This is Naismith, supported by Leven. Now Johnston. Excellent ball retention again from Johnston. All glued to that right foot. Wilson to Greer. Willing run there by Wilson, but he won't get there in time. Very good athlete, Lindsay Wilson. All those zipping through there off the wet surface, and Gordon Strachan not entirely happy the way things are going. Pen in hand, notepad there. A little aid memoir there for the Celtic manager. Unless he's ordering his post-match meal. That's Alan Johnson's header. This is McGeady, robbed neatly by Leven. Right, looking for Wales, who had his shirt pulled there by Varga, but the first offence was committed by the Kilmarnock striker. McManus playing that long ball forward with his right foot. Doesn't do that too often, but it's very effective. This is Petrov attacking Greer. Zurawski couldn't get on the end of that either. Kilmarnock defence coping very well so far. Here's Nish. Well, you can see the intention there, asking a lot though of Stephen Naismith. Colin Nish, a scorer of 7 Kilmarnock goals this season. Keane to Thompson. Well, they switch for the moment, Thompson, with Pearson. Thompson joining Roy Keane in the centre of the midfield for Celtic, with Pearson going to the left. The header was by Greer. Alan Thompson took a knock there as he played that ball back. McManus looking for Zurawski's pace. Very well marked by Greer. Going to the World Cup, Zurawski with Poland, almost certainly. A great opportunity for him to represent this country on the biggest stage of all. This is Pearson. Petrov back there to Keane. Well, Celtic playing almost at exhibition pace at the moment. Seeing a lot of the ball, not yet providing the cutting edge. Johnston goes in strongly, that's good play, robbing Petrov. Headed down by McManus, reaches Pearson. Good defending there by Lindsay Wilson. Wallace to Thompson. Celtic blessed with a number of natural left-sided players out there. Pearson, Thompson, Wallace. So too is McManus. A real overload of left-sided players. The pass is aimed for McGeady, taking on Leven. Help provided by Naismith, but still possession with Celtic. Awkward there, Zurawski and Greer together. Pearson's pass was aimed for Zurawski again. Now counter-attack possibility for Kilmarnock. Naismith did well. It was instantly robbed. That's a corner kick though to Kilmarnock. No, it's not. That was Naismith's last touch. Stephen Naismith asking the question. I understand that too. It looked to be a corner kick. Can't believe the decision. Well, that's a quite clear corner kick off Mark Wilson. Well, corner kicks are not all that easy to earn at Celtic Park, so when you get one so clearly and it's denied you, it's really frustrating. There's Naismith now, back to Leven. Nish comes short on the left. Holds off Varga. Misunderstanding there with Naismith. And a heavy challenge by Wright on Petrov. The referee will have a word with the Kilmarnock defender. Well, Jim Jeffries looking on intently, not seeing his team having enough of the ball, but that was an uncompromising challenge by Fraser Wright. Well, he's had an excellent season, forcing his way into the Kilmarnock team after 7 years at Stranraer. This is Wilson. The layoff from Petrov reaches McGeady. Well, he had a pass laid on there for Zurawski, who was in space in the inside left channel. He really should have received the pass. And Zurawski has made his feelings clear. A reaction to McGeady there. Well, just look at the way Zurawski goes to the left here. He's in all the space in the world and was screaming for a pass from McGeady. Bit of selfishness there by Aidan McGeady. Possession again, instant control of the first touch. Off goes Zurawski, offside. So the linesman here, Keith Sorby, picking that up. It looked to be a clearly given decision, no doubt about that. Kilmarnock with an opportunity here if they can finish with 2 victories, could get to 58 points, and that might be enough for 4th place depending on results elsewhere. They're playing Hibs in the final match at Rugby Park at the weekend. So another foul committed here by Alan Johnston. His arms all over Stephen Pearson. This is McGeady drifting more and more inside to get involved in the play. Wilson coming at pace, but that's very well covered by Stephen Naismith. Possession again with McGeady, seeing a lot of the ball right now. This is Roy Keane. 2 Republic of Ireland internationals together. Wallace comes forward from left back. Awkward ball that. Fraser Wright had no option, he had to turn that away to safety. Zurawski was right behind him. This is a very awkward ball, dangerous one, which couldn't come for. Turned away by Wright to safety. Thompson's ball in was a good one. That's thumped high in the air by Wales. Unorthodox in the extreme in defence there, James Fowler, or it was Fraser Wright rather, who had the final touch. Now Wales for Kilmarnock, now invincible. Good running power, linking with Nish. It's a very good turn away from trouble. Setting up Wales, who's offside. Oh, that must have been a close one. Far side assistant flagging there, Lawrence Kerrigan, and disappointment for Gary Wales. Looking along the line, he shouldn't have been caught. Flag up eventually. Well, frustration there for Wales. Had a very good burst of scoring after Chris Boyd left for Rangers, and Wales at that time only had scored once. He quickly a total to 9, but he's found goals pretty hard to come by in recent matches. Good natural finisher though. Zurawski took McGeady. Petrov through the inside left channel. Pearson makes a diagonal run, decoy run. Here's Petrov. Keane supporting. Momentum has been lost here for Celtic with that move. And the header away was by Wright. Leven was behind him with a better chance to clear. But Wright wasn't to know that. got to play the ball when it's there to be played. That was Wright's position. And then swinger from Thompson. Usually excellent delivery. It's not at all bad. And all McManus could do, though, was turn it behind for the goal kick. Well, the edge, once again, I think it's fair to say, is missing from the Celtic play. A lot of good, comfortable possession and passing without that explosion in the final third, which can make all the difference. Pearson to Petrov. Now Thompson. Good matching run there made by Fowler with Pearson. Very important there to Kilmarnock. Johnston forward. Out of reach for Nish. It's Petrov now. Through it goes for Zurawski. And once again, Kilmarnock defence has held its line. So another offside decision, and Zurawski setting off too early. Well, the best save of the match without question, the one by Combe against Stilian Petrov early on. Thompson's header goes straight to Fowler. This is Johnston, put under substantial pressure there by Thompson. Good play by Wales, coming short. Running straight into Pearson. A bit of space here for Celtic to exploit on the counter-attack. Off goes Zurawski. And Fraser Wright muscles in there to take him off the ball. Keane's header reaches McGeady. McGeady again. Zurawski has support from Mark Wilson on the right touchline. This is McGeady, good position. Great close control by McGeady, wonderful play. And the ball came up at last, it's a goal kick in the end. What a wonderful little cameo there from Aidan McGeady in that very tight situation, demonstrating the kind of qualities which could make him a real star over the years. Look at that for close control under pressure. Strong challenge by Keane, but it goes straight to Gordon Greer. This is Invincible. He's in a quiet match so far, and Kilmarnock usually are much more menacing. Invincibles involved a lot. Headed away by Varga, collected by Naismith for the benefit of Leven. A very good left foot. Giving that straight to Pearson though. He'll try again. Better ball this time. Nish. Well, difficult to pull that back across goal. Couldn't do so, Colin Nish. Still an easy time over the piece for David Marshall, and that Celtic goal. He had nothing to do at all. Here was Nish. Tipping away there from McManus. Petrov won that well, so too did Zurawski. Greer showing his confidence in his goalkeeper. Once again, Wales is penalised for his challenge on Stephen McManus. A flailing arm there. It's that right arm over the face of McManus. Well, the decision going Celtic's way, much to the annoyance of Lindsay Wilson. Now Pearson. Roy Keane and Pearson again. Wallace to Petrov. Allowed to turn by Greer as he covered the run made by Wallace. And the header away was by Leven. Target for that ball in was Alan Thompson, would you believe? He forced his way forward. That's good play by Fowler. Wilson to Johnston. That was very good play also, taken right out of the play by Keane, who came through late on Johnston. Take that. Well, completely uncompromising as ever. Keane can only play one way, I think. Invincible ball inside is collected by Fowler. This is Greer. Mark Wilson's header. Johnston got the better there of Keane, and Nish was clearly offside. It's been acknowledged by the referee, but he'll allow play to continue. Oh, and Johnston did well initially there against Roy Keane, but Nish gave him no real chance with that earlier on. Naismith turning away from McGeady. McGeady battling back and fouling the Kilmarnock youngster. Two fine young players together. Real determination being shown by both players there, but it was a foul by McGeady, no doubt about that. Now Peter Leven with this free kick. Very good left foot for this purpose. The far post it goes. The offside flag is up. Colin Nish again, I think. Looks bemused there, but the flag was up very early. Yes, I think he's just about a half yard offside, Nish. Wright's header. Here's Nish. Good play by Fowler. This is Leven. Invincible coming short, trying to set up Alan Johnson, but it gives McManus the chance to go bursting forward. Well, the pace of Fowler so important to Kilmarnock defensively. What a push by Wallace on Wales. Naismith in space on the left hand side. Gordon Greer hasn't yet spotted him. It's towards Invincible. Certainly sensible to play high balls in the area of Ross Wallace, who's the smallest player in the field by a long way, unless Stevie Murray comes on for Kilmarnock. He's on the bench. Perhaps even smaller. McGeady trying to time the pass for Wilson. Forced to turn back by the attentions of Naismith, who works very hard back with his defenders. This is Wales. Johnston's pass too far ahead there of Naismith. Both managers out there with instructions. Jim Jeffries not entirely happy. He must be concerned about Celtic enjoying so much possession. Headed away again by Wright. Petrov dropping a little bit deeper to get involved in the play. Finding it easy to wait upfield. He has to try and get involved and make things happen. Petrov. Now Keane. Wilson. Zurawski. Thompson. Good running by Wallace. Held up well by Fowler. That's Invincible now. The chance to counter. Only Wales up front with him. Johnston short. Celtic now, players back though. No real pace in that attacking manoeuvre from Kilmarnock. Fowler playing into a channel there where he hoped to find Stephen Naismith, who'd got across there. Thompson fending off Naismith with an arm to the face. Sharp play by Petrov. And a very good pass for Zurawski. Pearson waits in the middle. The interception made by Fowler is having a fine match for Kilmarnock. This is Petrov. Now McGeady. Thompson helping it on. Simply and quickly and effectively to Wallace. Well, turned away by Leven. He knew that Zurawski was right behind him. Well, I think Zurawski might have done better with that. Had to get the ball in the air for Pearson at the far post. McGeady's corner kick. Headed away in the end there by Wilson. Thompson retrieves. That's Keane towards Varga. What a chance he had. Well, Stan Varga looking for his first goal of the season. Very close indeed. There was no offside flag either, I can tell you that. It was a chance all right. Just out of reach for Varga. Leaving, taking a safe course forward like this. This is Colin Nish. Back now with Leven. And a push by Johnston on McManus, picked up by the referee. That was what enabled the ball to go all the way through to Gary Wales. Referee Conroy right on the spot. Wallace with a header. Here's Thompson, giving plenty of time to turn. Pearson. Now Alan Thompson again. McGeady has drifted inside to get involved. Chased there by Naismith. Clearly has been given the task of following him in that situation. Pearson couldn't find a way through there. Held up by the numbers in the Kilmarnock defence. All the way through it goes to Nish. While Wales and McManus were scrapping. This is Johnston, he's onside. Supported here by Invincible. Kilmarnock players in the box for this. One of them is Naismith. Well, they won that well from Wilson. Couldn't get real power or direction though. But the best attempt of the match perhaps from Kilmarnock so far. Good work on the right hand side, setting it all up. There was Alan Johnston. He had support from behind an Invincible. Invincible's ball across. Attacked by Naismith. Easy catch though for Marshall. Meanwhile, an offside decision. Kilmarnock. Headed on by Invincible. Met by McManus. Petrov getting up in determined fashion against Fowler. He's back in possession again. Here's Zurawski. Now Thompson did well to retain possession because Petrov, calling for the ball, was offside at the time. Keane to Pearson. Fowler again doing well in that midfield area. Wales out of reach there, and it's back with Mark Wilson. Well, a hopeful ball forward there. No real design in the pass. Leven hoists it forward for the tall figure of Nish, who's beaten to the ball by Varga. Now Wallace. Well, it starts all over again for Celtic. Pearson offside. Well, Kilmarnock have been very effective with their backline staying high, ignoring the pace of Pearson and Zurawski, which can certainly be troublesome against a defence playing offside. Gordon Strachan, I think, would certainly be less than entirely satisfied with this performance. There's never been a problem really for Celtic, but they haven't threatened too often. There's Colin Nish, unable to get there ahead of Marshall. Keane to Pearson. Now Wilson. Off goes Zurawski, followed every inch of the way again by Fraser Wright. Wilson's pass, screened well by Petrov. Now Zurawski. Zurawski again with Roy Keane behind. Manis fancies a charge forward again. Found Zurawski. Well, the Kilmarnock defence closing in again. They've worked hard back. The midfield players and the front players really have contributed hugely to Kilmarnock's defensive qualities in this match. Nation a wrestling match with McManus. Careless one by Thompson, allowing Johnston to take possession. Now Naismith. Just nowhere for Johnston to go there. Frustration for the Scottish international. 18 caps. The target is Petrov, who did well to get to that. Gordon Greer's pass back. Well, Kilmarnock, I think, may reflect in a first half in which they have not seen much of the ball, but they have coped well defensively. Very few clear-cut chances for Celtic in this first half, despite all the ball they've had. Here's Gordon Greer and Invincible. Fowler. Leven. Gary Wales challenged strongly there by Varga once again. Here's Naismith helping it on, and McManus was in trouble for a moment. Ross Wallace bailed him out. Here's Thompson. Petrov. Keane has Wallace breaking on the left. Now Pearson. Keane was always in support there. Wallace again, shown inside by Johnston. Another good interception made by Fowler. Well, a terrific servant to Kilmarnock over many years, James Fowler. Now Pearson for Celtic. Can they conjure up something before the half-time whistle? Helped on well there by Thompson for Zurawski, but that combination of Zurawski and Petrov not really working yet for Celtic. Very difficult to form a new partnership suddenly in the middle of an SPL match. Two very good players individually. There's about 1 additional minute to be added on at the end of the first half.
1 minute to be added.
Not quite sure where that came from. No injury I can recall. There was an injury. No, there was an injury. David Marshall, wasn't there? That was the factor which will result in that extra minute. Headed away by Wright, reaches Petrov. That's a fine tackle by Greer. Excellent play by the centre back. Now Alan Johnston. Invincible's found some space on the right hand side. McManus goes across strongly. Turned behind though by Invincible for the goal kick, which should bring the first half to an end. The first half which will certainly not be deemed immemorable, I suspect, by the Celtic supporters inside the stadium. Barely half full, I would suggest, for this match, which is extremely unusual. Referee Steve Conroy has seen enough. It's half-time at Celtic Park, and for Celtic it was a tough task in that first half to break down the resilient Kilmarnock defence. They weren't able to do so, but Stilian Petrov came closest with this excellent play, chesting that down for the volley, which was superbly saved by Alan Combe. The next best chance fell to Stan Varga, who had stayed forward and was nearly on the end of that ball in. He was on his own, he wasn't offside, could have made it 1-0, but Kilmarnock have survived at half-time at Celtic Park. It's Celtic 0, Kilmarnock 0.